Good morning, students. It's Friday, April 3rd, and we're going to continue with chapter 21. Today we are on lesson 5. In your hard book, if you want to follow along, we're on page 460, 461. Today's objective is to use a table to solve a problem. It says Mrs. Jenkins uses larvae to control insects in her garden. One container of 1,000 eggs costs $8.90. Mrs. Jenkins needs 4 containers of eggs. How much will the containers cost? Well, there's 2 ways that we can do this. We can create a table to help solve the problem, or we can multiply it. So I'm going to show you both ways on how to do this. So the problem said that there were a total of, they needed 4 containers. So in our input-output table, we have number of containers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the cost per container was $8.90. So there's a few different ways that you could do this. You can either continuously add $8.90, so you could say $8.90, and then you can add another $8.90 to this one, and you could keep going down in your input table. So if you added $8.90 and $8.90, you would get $17.80 if you added those in. And then again, for your third container, if you added $8.90 in again, you would get a total of $26.70. If you added $8.90 once again to your third container, so you're now looking at having a fourth container, you would get a total of $35.60. So that's one way using an input-output table could help you solve these word problems. The other way you could do it is simply by multiplying. So you could take your $8.90, the cost per container, and multiply it times the 4 containers, which is what we worked on yesterday with multiplying with money. So you could say 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 9 is 36. Carry you 3. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 plus 3 is 35. And you get $35.60. So this is just another strategy that that they want you to learn, guys. Multiplying is quick and easy if you're comfortable with it, but they wanted to give you another strategy by using an input-output table and being able to add. So you see, if you had the 4 containers, which is represented here in the 4, if you did it on a table chart, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you added the $8.90 in 4 times, you'd get $35.60. So whether you add $8.90 4 times or you multiply $8.90 4 times, you would get $35.60 either way. So that's your guideline on how you make the tables or use multiplication. If you want to pause the video, you want to write this down as an example, feel free. But it's also in your book that you can look to for that. So today we are going to do a math problem, your first homework problem together. So if you look at your homework worksheet on 21.5, I'll go ahead and read you the problem. It says Yolanda plays basketball in a youth league. Each game is made up of 4 quarters, and each quarter is 8 minutes long. If Yolanda plays every quarter during 7 games, how many minutes does she play? So how we broke this up is your first step here would have to be to multiply your 4 quarters in a game times the 8 minutes that each quarter is length. So each quarter is 8 minutes long, and there's 4 quarters in the game. So you first want to figure out how many minutes the players are playing per game. So you have 32 minutes. If you want to use the input-output table, you can line it up with minutes and games, and since we said it's 32 minutes per game, you're going to say 32 times 1, and then again, you can continue to add 32 in. So if you add 32 and 32, you get 64. If you added 32 again, you'd get 96. Added 32 again, you'd get 128, then you'd get 160, 192, and finally 224. So if you're comfortable and you want to make the table chart and you want to add them all up, the way you would do this is first figure out how many minutes are in per game, which is 32, the 8 times the 4. And then you have to figure out how many minutes they're playing per game for 7 games. That's one way to do it for number 1 on your homework with the input-output table. The way that might be a little bit easier is to first, again, your 4 times 8, your 4 quarters times your 8 minutes per game, and you get your 32. Then just to take your 32 minutes times the 7 games. And the way we did this was 4 times 2 was 14. We carried the 1. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the 1 is 22. And if you look, whether you multiply it or you did the input-output table, you would get 224 either way. So we want to teach you both strategies. We want you to use the one that you are more comfortable with. Your worksheet does say that you can make a table. If you are more comfortable just using the multiplication method, we're okay with that. I do want you, at least for number 1, I want you writing down the table chart for number 1 since I went ahead and did it for you, just so that you can get a feel and an understanding of how the input-output table works. So you'll have to do the same thing with number 2, and then you go ahead and work those word problems on the back as well. If you have any questions with this, please feel free to email us. I've showed my class this. There is a great YouTube video, and I can email the parents if you would like it. There's a great YouTube video on input-output tables as well. The next thing that we want you to do today, once you do this piece and you could submit it to us, we want you to work on IXL HH17 for about 20 minutes. We don't ever want you going over 20 minutes. So if a section is taking you longer, please don't sit on the IXL sections for 40 or 50 minutes. 20 minutes is the max we want you guys working IXL. Whether we give you 1 section to do or 2 sections to do, the max we want you on IXL is 20 minutes, okay? All right, guys, see you later. Have a great weekend and happy Friday.